when I was going through the whole viral situation was not having somebody to share that excitement with. You know what I mean? You tell somebody and they're happy for you, but they're not as excited as you are. Mm-hmm. So I wanted deep down somebody to enjoy that with.
Purpose driven living, that's the motto. Purpose driven living, boy, that's the motto. If God orders my steps, then I'ma follow. We just steward the gifts that we borrow. Purpose driven.
So obviously, fellow artists, I love music. When I think about where we are in terms of music today, it's very diverse, and arguably, the 20-year-old version of me would have been like, man, this stuff out today is super whack. And to a lot of point, there is some very not edifying music out there. I'll just leave it like that.
I agree.
But what I appreciate is the diversity in the type of music. Like I can actually go listen to a Lil Baby or the Baby or some of these young guys, and I can get the heart of what they're trying to say. Is really the point that I'm trying to make here. So in terms of style, man, and what energizes you and the type of music, like how would you characterize like the music that you make and enjoy and the style of music that you produce?
I try to switch it up, but my passion for the beats is the melody. And I've always just been drawn to the melody of everything. Drums, I mean, if I had somebody that lived with me or a good friend that was really good with drums, I would just make the melody and send it off to that person and let them do the drums. I could care less about the drums. They got to sound good, you know what I mean? But I don't care about drums. Like, if I had somebody to do it for me, I'd do that all day. I love melody. So that's really what drives my music. And so I don't really feel like I shoot for like a certain type of, music. I just, if I can come up with a really good melody, after that, everything's easy. I just put some simple drums on it, let it ride, and just make sure it's, it's cohesive. But so I guess, I could say my style is melodic.
Gotcha. Yo, it's so crazy that you say that, because if I scroll through your YouTube right now, I hear the chord progressions, I hear the different melodies, but then I hear the counter melodies that you mentioned, and that's a very great way to characterize it. And I think it's flexible and broad enough where it doesn't put you in a box. Like when you hear now, there's so much different types of music. You can argue that it's really like mostly predominantly is trap music or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's nuances in that category in itself.
Yeah. So, subcategories.
Right.
You got like smooth trap, or what do they call it now? I forget what they call it, but it's like, they have different trap, you know what I mean? They got R&B trap, you know what I mean? So yeah.
That's dope, man. Well, tell us on the production side here, in terms of technology, you kind of referenced like you're big on the keys. Like if you're giving somebody feedback, what do they need to do what you do in terms of the technology that you use to produce music?
Hi, at Lenore Coaching, we work with a wide variety of job seekers, including students, early career professionals, and experienced professionals, with services including job search strategy, career exploration, personal branding, networking, interview preparation, as well as resume and cover letter writing. So you guys can contact us first by reaching out to our website, which is www.lenorecoaching.com.
You can also contact us via social media. We have Instagram and Facebook pages, Lenore Coaching LLC.
As far as technology, I mean, you just need a simple program. I mean, I use Logic, but you got FL Studio, you got Ableton, you got Studio One. So honestly, the program isn't really that important. You need plugins, you need, because every program comes with stock sounds, but the stock sounds aren't high quality. So you have to invest in good quality sounds. And as far as like technology, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'd say studio monitors, but you can make beats with headphones. I know a lot of people that say they make beats with just stock computer, stereo system. So you really, I know a guy that's really good that just has a computer, some headphones, and he'll just be sitting there clicking, and you'll think he's just on the computer just messing around. He's actually making a beat, and he has no emotion. He's just sitting there like, you would think he's scrolling on the internet. And next minute, he's like, all right, I finished the beat. You want it? And I'm like, all right, yeah, definitely. So you really don't need much technology nowadays. You just need your mind.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I just wanted to provide that because I think, we get this we get this thought that we have to have a lot of money to do what we're passionate at. And so you've kind of iterated, like in terms of investing in the startup to be a producer. I don't have to have a lot of money to get started. There's some very core things to go ahead and get rocking and rolling, man. Just to before I transition, I'm curious to hear, like, what are your career goals when you think about being a producer? Obviously, I want to talk a little bit about like your business model. But what for you as a producer, what are your career goals? Because, you're in a space that's very unique. Obviously, YouTube has proliferated, has given a lot of people a platform, and it continues to grow. But I want to know, just in a broad scope of things, where do you see yourself if you fast forward 5, 10, 15 years from now?
As far as career goals, just working with the biggest artists. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just I kind of want to get into making, I wouldn't say radio hits, but just more like just evolving. You get to a certain point in your career where you feel like, all right, this is cool. I've been doing this a while. I've been working with independent artists, and trust me, the independent artists are great. I enjoy it and I appreciate them. But or maybe just growing with an independent artist, because that's how everybody breaks out. You're an independent artist before you break out. So finding an independent artist that we create a great relationship with, that person complements my style, I complement theirs, and we blow up. So that I would say that's my end goal.
Okay.
And I think that would be more fulfilling than me blowing up with a popular artist. I think growing with somebody and we both creating a career together, that would be a little bit more fulfilling.
Okay.
Just having somebody to go through the same process with, you know what I mean?
For sure.
It just, because like I said earlier, like I enjoy people, I enjoy relationships. And so having, like, the only thing that bothered me about when I was going through the whole viral situation was not having somebody to share that excitement with. You know what I mean? You tell somebody and they're happy for you, but they're not as excited as you are. Mm-hmm. So I wanted deep down somebody to enjoy that with, and us to be excited together. And I was really missing that. But a lot of the time, and then I have to come to the realization that you come into this world by yourself and you're going to leave this world by yourself. So a lot of the best things in this world, you're going to have to learn how to enjoy by yourself.
Man, no, that's powerful, man. It's independent. It's an interesting nuance how you mentioned, in terms of career goals, like obviously everybody's success is defined differently. And so maybe the opportunity for you is to be working to chance to work with those prominent artists. But I definitely see, like you kind of mentioned, like I know your homeboy Tony Graham. I've heard his music. Awesome rapper. So it sounds like, if you got that opportunity where you both could to blow up together, that would be an awesome sort of feeling to do it independently. So yeah, man, that's awesome. I'm curious to hear, just to give folks a illustration of like, what is sort of your business model, right? I don't want to really get into numbers. But I'm curious to hear from like how you've really been able to monetize your music. So obviously we mentioned YouTube, but tell us all of the way.
Hey family, it's your boy Quintrell Lenore here with brand new merch to keep you guys looking good this season. We have long sleeve, short sleeve, as well as hoodies. Check us out at gumroad.com/PDL apparel. We got all the swag you need to stay covered in purpose.
That you've sort of been able to monetize your business as a producer?
So it started off with YouTube, and I kind of took it for granted because like when you're going viral, you're getting just free traffic, and that free traffic is driving sales, is driving everything, YouTube revenue and everything. But a lot of the times, the viralness or whatever, virality or whatever you want to call it, doesn't last forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
It doesn't. You know what I mean? If you think about all the popular artists that have come out, they stay viral and popular for a little while, but eventually that it fizzles out, and you're making way for that next person to go viral, and then they're going to be getting all the attention. So then I had to take an adjustment period to start to learn. All right, because I was finding out that there were producers that were doing great that never went viral. They just had solid, concrete business models and business practices. So I had to start to learn those. So email marketing is one of them. Just learning how to use social media engagement to drive awareness of your brand. What else? Customer retention. That's super important. Just making the people that actually buy from you feel appreciated. And that's one of the biggest ones, because if you can get somebody to continue to buy it from you, I mean, that's worth more than getting a new customer. So it's learning how to keep that person and keep a relationship with that person. So those are, I'm still learning, you know what I mean? The learning hasn't stopped. I'm still learning better ways that I can run my business. And the more I learn, the better, because I always say knowledge is power, but then execution is like the driver of everything, because you can know everything in the world, but if you're not using it and not doing it the right way, it doesn't do you no good. So number one, learning, and then number two, actually executing on those ideas.
That's solid, man. It sounds like, YouTube was sort of the gateway for you to get your product out there, but you've kind of equipped yourself. I know just from rapping with you back in Harrisonburg, you sharing me some of the literature that you're getting up to. So, you talking about building a brand, customer retention. These are things that are business principles that are transferable across, all industries. I'm curious to hear it for you. When you think about growth, so obviously, you've referenced as a producer, your career goal would be to be able to work with a more successful mainstream artist, or build up a brand to where you can independently have folks alongside you to grow with. More from the business standpoint, how do you sort of see like your business being sustained or even diversifying for what you want to do as a producer? Because I know not everybody goes through the YouTube route. There's folks that put content out there on their e-commerce website. There's folks that just do the independent kits and melodies and percussion and so forth. So there's a variety of ways to make money. I'm curious to hear for you, what are your career goals for on the business side?
I'm really starting to understand the value of just the relationships. You know what I mean? Because I talk about I want to create a situation with another artist to where we both are prospering. So it's just building relationships. So I want to learn how to create better relationships with artists. My main focus is the retention. What else? Honestly, it's just keep getting better at the craft, because my biggest belief is if the product is good and the customer what's the word I'm looking for? If the customer not support, but I'm forgetting the word, but basically, customer satisfaction. Yes. So if you have a good product and somebody feels good doing business with you,
absolutely.
From when you go shopping, you're not going to go shop at a place that has a good product, but they treat you like crap.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? You're just not going to feel good going in there. You're not going to feel good spending your money there. So, and that's why I kind of try to, keep myself, because there are producers that put stuff out and they just put their product out there, but they don't put part of their real life out there. You know what I mean? So I like to put my real life out there. Hey, I'm a real person. I have children. I have, I have a family. I'm a, cool guy. I'm easygoing. I like to put that stuff out there because it lets people know that, I'm a real guy. I'm not just a brand that puts out a product and hides behind the product.
Hey, what's going on, family? Do not forget to check out the music that inspired the movement. PDL,
This project is by yours truly, Quintrell Lenore. It's streaming on all major platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, you name it, go check it out. This project was produced by Dilly Got It Bumpin'. It's awesome music to help you guys stay motivated and to worship in this season.
Because some producers do that, and I feel like that's not the best way to go. You like, when I do business with somebody, I like to know, what their personality is. Are they funny? It's just stuff like that. Just giving people an in on my life. And sometimes it's a little weird to do that because, you have people that will talk to you and talk about you like they really know you, but, they don't.
Right.
But, as far as long-term goals, I think that was, I've gone off on a tangent, but long-term goals is just to continue to grow my brand and then branch off to different business opportunities. Because, I want to diversify. So, I love making music. Music is a passion, but I don't want to just do music. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to be more of like a mogul type, where I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So, I have a couple of projects that I'm working on that I don't really want to talk about too much right now, but, I have something else that I'm studying really hard on that's going to propel what I'm doing right now. So sometimes what you're doing might have to take a back seat to the long-term vision that you have. So I have a long-term vision. And so, to be honest, music has kind of taken a back seat. I've kind of automated things to where, I have beats posted out for a certain amount of time. So I'm not sitting there, every single day putting a beat out. It's already scheduled to be put out for the week or two. So that's been put on automation. And so now I'm working on a different project, and this project is going to propel everything in my life to just make everything line up and make things a little bit easier, more streamlined. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
No, that's solid, man. What I can appreciate is you're not divulging everything, because I think there's seasons where like, hey, this is what I'm about. So in terms of production, like, I can imagine you before you put all your music out there, you probably didn't tell everybody like this is the route that I'm going, right? But then when it was time for, when your skill set was where you wanted it to be and you put out your music, that's what you were about. So I appreciate that, the fact that, there's future ventures that you're working on, but there's going to be a season where like, all right, now this is what it's about. And the other thing too is like, you kind of mentioned diversifying, like, we're not one-dimensional individuals. God didn't make us to do one thing. The reality is, like Scripture says, to subdue and multiply. So there's a wide range of things that we can do ultimately to spread His goodness to more and more folks.
Purpose driven living, that's the motto. Purpose driven living, boy, that's the motto. If God orders my steps, then I'ma follow. We just steward the gifts that we borrow. Purpose driven.